A very warm welcome to you as you join us on today's episode of Tax Matters. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuluko. Last episode, we had as our guest Mr. Moses Ibiloye, the tax controller of the FRS Micro and Small Taxpayers Office in Apapa, Lagos. We seized the opportunity to tap into Mr. Ibiloye's knowledge, into his experience working with the National Assembly on tax legislations. Because of time constraints, we couldn't talk about his role as a taxman on the field, about his role as a tax controller of that office in Apapa. That is what Tax Matters is about today. In the next 25 minutes, you will be able to get a feel of how that office operates. If you are ready, we are ready. The program is Tax Matters, and I'm Olumuyiwa Matuluko. Mr. Ibiloye, welcome to Tax Matters. Let us begin by putting on record our pleasure in noticing that your office is wearing a new look. What happened?
Thank you very much. I will say that the entire Apapa MSTO staff and myself, we are very grateful to the FRS management under the leadership of Alhaji Mashi. The renovation started in February 2013, and within 10 months, the renovation was done. Yes, and you can see that we now have a very good environment to work with, and it's to the benefit of the stakeholders, every stakeholders. The auditors coming there, the taxpayer coming there, and we also, the staff. You know, the renovation makes everybody happy. Yeah, that's number 22 Warehouse Road, Apapa. Yeah.
What is the area of jurisdiction? Who are those that you cover? Which area of Apapa or its environs do you cover?
As a result of the recent restructuring of taxpayer by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Apapa will cover the micro and small taxpayers within Apapa local government. In the past, all sorts of taxpayers, whatever category, they report to Apapa MSTO. But as a result of the current or recent restructuring now, the stakeholder or the taxpayer within $1 billion and above turnover, they have to be moved to the large tax office. Those with 200 and above million, they also have to move to medium taxpayer. And now the focus with the MSTO, in which Apapa is one of them now, is to now look for those taxpayers that are not within the tax partnership. We don't call it tax net, but tax partnership. So those ones that are not yet within the tax partnership, to now start working on them to make sure that we are bringing them in so that they also can register and become responsible corporate citizens. The coverage actually at the moment is Apapa local government. Any taxpayer with the volume of transactions of 1 billion and above, we have moved them from Apapa to the large tax office. Good. All the taxpayer with the turnover from 200 and above, not up to 1 billion, then we move them to medium tax office.
Where is that medium tax office?
We have medium tax office located at Gidingbi office, where the large tax office also is at Gidingbi office. Okay. Actually, the focus now is those who are not paying tax, those who are not yet registered, now needs to start looking for them and bring them into tax partnership.
So what kind of businesses do those people in that your area do?
If you, Apapa is located where we have two major seaports in Nigeria, Tinkan port, then Apapa main port. So as a result of that, you have large number of clearing agents, people operating at the port, the ship owners, and so on and so forth. Okay. So those are the large concentration that we have in Apapa MSTO.
So what kind of taxes do you administer?
You see, Apapa is like any of FRS tax office. So you administer company income tax, you administer value-added tax, you administer education tax, information technology also. But for the fact that the turnover of those who fall within that category have been moved from Apapa.
You said that your emphasis is actually on those who are not in tax partnership yet. You say not tax net. We take that, we note that. Now, those who are not within the bracket yet. So, you must have some challenges in bringing those ones on board. You want to share some of those challenges with us?
Majority of the operators in these categories, they are what one can refer to as these portfolio operators, because of the nature of the clearing and forwarding business does not actually require a laborious office, space, and all the rest. Therefore, to get the address of majority of them is a serious issue. And majority of them also, or some of them are not of a big turnover. Therefore, they don't actually engage the professionals to assist them in keeping their records. And some of them, it is only when you are able to pin them down that you really know that they are in that operation. So that's the major problem that we have with them. But since that's our focus, or the main focus of that office now, so we are taking it as a challenge, looking at how we can, because they have a kind of group, a kind of association, we try to penetrate them through their association, discuss with them the benefit of having a register for tax, get your tax identification number, and be a good corporate citizens. These are what we are doing at the moment to see how we can be of assistance to them. And once in a while we go out on the tax education, meet them at when they are having their meeting and have a discussion with them. Once in a while we distribute leaflets to them, and these are what we have been doing.
Okay, but how much progress are you making? I mean, since you took over, can you share with us the figures about those that have come on board?
Actually, like in 2010, 2011, the registration was not all that much. But in 2012, the collaboration between Customs, the Central Bank of Nigeria, and Federal Inland Revenue Service was in place. Thereby, there is no operator who can operate through the port or opening a bank account without having taxpayer identification number. So, as a result of that, you have a large number of them coming to do registration. Yeah. And like I said also, by our own going out, because we have like a taxpayer service, like a federal filing and debt enforcement unit. See, these two units also, once in a while they go out, they meet the taxpayer. Those who have not registered, instantly they register them. So as it is now, like for 2013, we register close to about 750. So there has been that increase in the number of them now coming up, particularly that is our focus now as MSTO, because the benchmark, yes, we need to contribute or we need to generate revenue, but the target in terms of revenue is just 50-50. You understand? Compared with the number of registration that we need to make. Emphasis is now on look for them anywhere they are hiding. Say, yes, we need to collect taxes and report that, but at the same time, the office is benchmarked on the basis of the number of registration that you are able to make.
But has it impacted in any way on the bottom line?
Yes, I will say yes. For as at now, we may not start seeing the impact the way we are thinking it should be. But for the fact that a taxpayer has registered, over time, little by little, you start contributing. The management also is looking at introducing this presumptive tax also, where you discover that, because that's one of the recommendation of Professor Dr. Phillips' group, that where the tax, the turnover of a taxpayer is not all that much, then you can just introduce a particular rate that every one of them should be paying. You understand? So if the presumptive tax is in place, now that we have registered them, so it makes it easier to implement that presumptive tax. But if you don't even know the people you want to apply that presumptive tax, it will be very difficult. So I can say that for now, by registering them, though the contribution may not all that big now, but at least they are already becoming in the tax partnership. Yeah.
How long it will take for you to clear my container?
I dey do am, Oga. Then Sable will go bring our team.
Our team? Which team?
Custom don't change, Oga. I never ran Sable.
I want to concern FRS with my business. I will talk to Gaba myself. You are fired.
Oga.
Oga Gaba, which one be this our team again?
The taxpayer identification number now the only way where you fit take do business with Nigerian Customs Service now. You fit process your own free chain, sharp for any FRS office.
Soji.
You just sack me, no.
Get our team. Now.
This message now from Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigeria Customs Service.
The program is Tax Matters. As you heard in our introduction of Mr. Ibiloye, he is currently the tax controller of the Apapa Micro and Small Taxpayers Office of the FRS in Apapa, Lagos. Christina Pius is here to take us in a tour of that office and a sister office in Orile.
Are you a business owner in Apapa? Today, Know Your Tax Office takes you to the 2 FRS offices in that axis of Lagos. As you know, there are 2 major ports in that part of the nation's commercial capital, the Apapa Port and the Tinkan Island Port. And to make life easier for taxpayers, to bring services closer to their doorstep, the FRS has carved out another office out of the old Apapa office. Let's take you to the new Apapa MSTO that has just taken possession of a brand new edifice. Mr. Moses Ibiloye is a tax controller.
This is Apapa Micro and Small Tax Office. This is number 22 Warehouse Road, Apapa. The Apapa MSTO covers Apapa local government.
What is the major area of business activity of taxpayers in that area?
We have a large number of this clearing agents, the companies operating at the Port Authority.
What services does the MSTO offer?
As at 2007, when the Federal Inland Revenue Service integrated the services. So since that time, every tax office under Federal Inland Revenue Service, so we attend to company income tax, you attend to value-added tax, education tax. However, where you have individual approaching us for personal income tax, we assist them, direct them to the nearest Lagos State internal revenue.
We move on to the Orile MSTO.
Ajeromi Felodun local government comprises of Coconut, Wima, Kirikiri, Ajegunle, Amukoko, Mobi Road by the left, Orile Igomu from my 2 by the right to National Art Theatre, because the other part, which is the left side of Orile Igomu, is covered by Aguda MSTO. We offered a lot of services which include the taxpayer education, tin generation, issuance of tax clearance certificate, and a host of others. Our taxpayer comprises of companies in the range of 1 naira to 199 million naira threshold. But majorly, our taxpayers are mostly traders of a small and micro office unit. So, and most of them are in Orile. The concentration is in Orile.
Still on services offered by the MSTO.
To generate tin in my office, you need less than a minute, because the basic 5 fields that are compulsory, once you have them, we generate your tin for you under seconds. And these are the address of the company, valid address of the company, the incorporation number of the company, valid email, because some people will say, we've been using this email before, but we don't know. Once we confirm your email is valid, you are done. Email, the phone number, and the company's name. Those are the 5 fields. Once you have them, we generate. Tin generation, issuance of tax clearance certificate, they are all free. They are all free.
Thank you very much.
Now you know where to go, whether in Apapa or Orile. Of course, there are other sister offices of the FRS in that axis. We're talking about Alaba and we're talking about Aguda, which Mr. Adewi referred to earlier. Anywhere you go, you are assured of courteous service, speedy service. Those are the hallmarks of the FRS. Welcome back. Our guest is still very much with us, and that's talking about Mr. Moses Ibiloye, the tax controller of the Apapa Micro and Small Taxpayers Office of the FRS in Apapa, Lagos. Now, the Nigeria Customs Service collects VAT at the ports on behalf of the FRS. Yes. So, with all these clearing and forwarding agents and all that, when they have already paid VAT through the ports, what other taxes do you get from them or hope to get from them?
In fact, this is one of the problems that we have as one of the challenges. You see, there is a distinction between importer paying VAT on the goods they imported and the service rendered by the clearing agent.
There's a difference.
They are not the same. The clearing agent, for the fact that I assisted you to clear your goods, I render service, I will charge you for a fee for my service. On that fee for service, that's what the VAT will be imposed. Now, for the goods that the importer is bringing to the country, you will pay VAT on it, but that VAT remain input VAT, because you are going to claim it by the time you are now selling those.
The importer is going to claim it.
Yes, the importer is going to claim it, but you now discover that the clearing agents now misconstrue the VAT paid on the goods. Now. They now say that, they have paid VAT, whereas they need to just act as an agent in collecting the VAT on the service that they render to the importer and remit to the Federal Land Revenue Service. But your question is, what tax are we expecting from them? We're expecting them to render the VAT on their service. Good. While their personal income tax will go to the state. Good. You understand? Yes. So these are two different things. Yes. But are
there other taxes? Company's income tax?
If it is a limited liability company, but we have some of them that are enterprises, okay. And their enterprises will register them for the purpose of VAT. Their personal income tax will go to the state, okay. But those among them that are limited liability company and the clearing agents, they remit the VAT imposed on their own service to Federal Land Revenue Service, and the company itself will now pay the company income tax to.
We can see that it's a delicate balancing game. I mean, it's a bit complicated.
It's not.
How are you? It's not. Okay, how are you talking to them? I am your regular clearing and forwarding agent now, Muiwa Enterprises. I carry my portfolio, resume my report in the morning, clear goods for my clients, leave, and you say you are FIRS. Talk to me.
Okay, what we want from you is that, one, you register with Federal Inland Revenue Service for value-added tax purpose.
Yes.
Being an enterprise, not a limited liability company.
Yes,
so that enterprise will pay tax to Lagos State government if you are operating in Lagos State.
Good.
Now, because you render service assisting the importer to clear goods, you charge.
Good.
So that your fee, that service you render, you now impose 5% of it because the importer has enjoyed your service and will pay that 5% to you, which you are going to remit. You only assist the federal government as collecting agent. You are not the one paying that tax. And that is the reason why we are also, in fact, that is the position of the company income tax, that every taxpayer, every corporate taxpayer needs to employ the service of a competent professionals who can explain all this to them. And you just discover that, no, there's no double tax, there's no multiple tax in this case, because you are only assisting the federal government to collect VAT.
Okay, we said it was complicated, you said no, and we now agree that it is not complicated. It just needs clarification. Yes. So you have dealt with me as Muiwa Enterprise, a clearing and forwarding agent who carries briefcase. That is not to say that carrying briefcase is an offense. Now, assuming that I'm operating under limited liability cover, AMYMAT and company, clearing and forwarding, and I am within your jurisdiction, that is 1 naira to 200 million. What do you want from me? Talk to me.
The operation of clearing goods, continue charging fees.
Yes.
That's the object of Muiwa Limited. At the end of the accounting period, so all the fees charged will become your turnover, the revenue generated during the year, which you are going to present to the Federal Inland Revenue Service after your audited, the auditors, your external auditor already worked on it, and you present it to the Federal Inland Revenue Service as part of your annual returns. Annual returns has to be filed once in a year within 6 months after your accounting date. And the value-added tax returns has to be done on monthly basis. Whatever fees you charge during the month, and you now the 5% VAT you collected from it. So on monthly basis, every month you have to file that one with the Federal Inland Revenue Service and remit to the value-added tax federal government account. So that's the way it will go. If it is for companies with above Apapa MSTO threshold, it's still the same process. All the collection made over the year will be prepared to form the annual returns and file it with the tax office. If it is below 1 billion but above 200 million, it will be filed with the medium tax office. If it is above 1 billion naira, then such a company will file with the large tax office. But on monthly basis, such company will remit the value-added tax. So it is the value-added tax and the annual returns on the income, which is a company income tax. Let me add this to it also. Every corporate entity is responsible for the remittance of their staff, of their employees' personal income tax on monthly basis to be remitted to the state tax authority if they are not within the federal capital territory. Like in Lagos here now, such a company should remit the personal income tax on the basis of pay as you earn. Payee remits it on monthly basis to the state tax authority that is very close to them, while value-added tax will come to Federal Inland Revenue Service, and on annual basis, the company income tax will be filed with the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
It's all becoming clearer, don't you think? Knowledge, they say, sets you free. Now that you know, we know that you are free. Time will not permit us to serve you all that Mr. Ibiloye had to say at the interview session. That will come to you some other time. We want to thank you most sincerely for finding time to watch today's episode of Tax Matters, and we wish you a blessed week ahead.